My name is Nnamdi Osuagwu, aka the Six Pack CISO. I want to talk to you today about vendor due diligence. But before we get into it, I want to tell you a story. I practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I compete. I remember a few years ago in one of my earlier tournaments, I had my opponent in something called a triangle choke. He eventually tapped out, but afterwards I collapsed out of pure exhaustion. I remember going back to my coach the next week and saying, I never want to feel that way again. That led to a vigorous training regimen. I would run a mile before class, go to the jiu-jitsu class, afterwards a weight circuit, followed by a run or a swim. Over time, I never felt that way again in future tournaments by continuing that regimen. How does that relate to vendor due diligence? You ever felt completely wiped out after winning a sale? You went through the sale, it went through, but the due diligence process was extensive. It was exhausting. And then you have to turn around and then repeat that for another prospect. Allow me to be your coach and walk you through how to make your due diligence process seamless. The shorter the due diligence, the shorter the sales cycle. So where do we begin? First, you want to gather all of your security documents, your InfoSec policies, your insurance. You also want to look at prior due diligence request and create an FAQs based on the questions that were asked. Once you have all this information, in addition to other documents that relate to your cybersecurity program, you want to put that in a centralized location. You want to use a compliance automation tool. Once you put that in a centralized location, you'll give secure access to your prospects. This way they can log in, they can see all of your various cybersecurity documentation and also the questions that they might have asked or they would have asked. Everything is laid out simply. So you have to use an automated tool to do that. Now, if the automated tool has continuous monitoring for standards like SOC 2, total game changer. Once you have all of these pieces together, you'll start seeing the due diligence process will go through a lot more seamless. When you think about it, you're in a situation now that the prospects are getting answers to their questions before they're even asked. So they're logging in and they're seeing all that information. My whole concept is more is less. For me, it was more training led to less exhaustion. For you, it's more cybersecurity details up front will lead to a less exhausting due diligence process. Remember, the shorter the due diligence, the shorter the sales cycle. My name is Nnamdi Osuagwu, aka the Six Pack CISO. Thanks for your time. Cheers.